So this is, hang on. Yeah, this is the barn that I've come to shoot, and I can't decide whether to use the wide angle lens or and get these trees either side of me, sorry about the wind noise, or whether to compress and go 50. It's a classic case of needing that 35mm focal range. Yeah, so I really can't make my mind up which lens I want to use, but I do think for the wide angle lens I need to get closer to the barn, because obviously it's pushing that barn really far back and making it look teeny tiny. So I'm gonna head on towards the barn and just see if I can make this wide angle lens work. Come on. Getting there, just a little bit closer I think, because I don't want any sun in my shot because it's very harsh. I don't want any lens flare. I hate lens flare, or hate having to control lens flare, and I think the shot would look better even still if I go a little bit closer, because that barn is still looking a little bit too far away. A bit closer. So I think I found my composition. It's a nice barn. It's not old by any means, and I was hoping for a bit more light. The light's gone behind a cloud. The sun's gone behind a cloud, which has flattened off the scene completely, which is rather annoying. This shot needs light and it needs a good sky. The intentions of this shot was I was out for a walk the other day, and with Kirsty and Willow, we see a stag or buck over behind you, and I see this on the way, that obviously the leading lines leading up to the barn, big sky, wide angle lens, the grass is all moving in the wind. It's like got that typical sort of country land sort of feel, countryside sort of English countryside feel. Yeah, I just hope that cloud doesn't scupple the colour, because that will suck. This is my shot anyway. This is what I've got to work with. So I'm going to be here until I feel like I've got the best of the situation at this time. I'm going to focus on the barn around f11, because I'm nice and high on my tripod. I'm not down low, so I haven't got a focus stack or any of that business. It's just focus on the barn and let the conditions that I planned come to light. Hopefully the farmer doesn't want me to move, because I am right in the way. Right, well, the sky is really not playing ball now. I've got some lovely high sort of wispy clouds, which I'm hoping, fingers crossed, is going to catch when the sun starts to go down past the horizon or get close. I've got, like I said before, I've got a lovely leading line up to a nice barn. It's not old, but it's a nice barn. It's it's a classic composition. Got a nice copse of trees in behind the barn. Some nice trees on the left and right, but I've cropped the ones off on the right just because I don't want to be square on this path that's leading me up to the barn. I want to put it off to the side. I'm using to create a diagonal line rather than a straight line. I want the eye to sort of go across my frame, not straight to the barn, and then not see all of the surrounding elements to the image. I want the eye to be drawn across it, so your eye sort of, you know, zigzags across. That's the thought process behind this shot. It's using the lines that I've got to my advantage, the stripes and lines in the field, which are diagonals. I'm putting the barn. It's on the right hand third. It is kind of in the middle of my frame, but it is on the right hand third, and I don't tend to follow the rule of thirds to the letter of the law. I tend to use it loosely. You know, rules sometimes are made to be broken, and don't get too hung up on the rule of thirds. Use the diagonals and the shapes that you've got in your scene, and if that means breaking the rule of thirds, then I would do so. So it's just a waiting game now. I've got a 4-stop soft on because the sky is very bright high up. Other than that, the scene's very flat. Yeah, another reason why I wanted to come out tonight is because I was sent a little gadget, a little electronic wireless shutter release gadget from a company called Photoninja, and they contacted me asking me to check out their product. I had a look at the website. They're on Instagram. You can look at their feed here if it'll focus. It's Photoninja. They've got some really nice pictures. And their project's called Unleashed, and they make them for all kinds of kinds of manufacturers and brand models in their manufacturers. So I'm just sort of testing the product out. They did send it to me for free. I will say that I didn't pay for it, and I will be doing a little mini review or telling you a little bit about the product in further detail as I use it. I'm not going to give you my thoughts on it now because I'm literally just testing it out, but basically you plug it in, it uses your camera, it's got a little Bluetooth device all built into it, and you download the app. There you go. So all of my data, which is on the back of my camera now. Obviously you can do time lapses, video and long exposures. So providing you got battery in your phone, which, let's be honest, most people have them in their pockets, and most people have them charged up, you've got a shutter release, digital shutter release, which is pretty cool. It's all wireless, like I said, and I thought, why not give it a little go. So there's a little bit more colour now in the sky, and I did catch some little glimpses of light streaking across the frame and hitting the left-hand trees. So I've still got the same setup. I've still got a 4-stop grad in the sky, soft grad in the sky, to hold back the sky, just sort of balance the exposure. And it's quite nice to get the case filters out again, actually. Since it's doing lots of woodland, I haven't actually got the grads and the NDs out at all. Yeah, so it's nice to get the grads out again. Yeah, I'm down to 1/3 of a second ISO 100 f11. Focus on the barn, like I've already said, and I'm just shooting the colour as the light changes. 2-second timer. Checking the histogram at all times. Yeah, the histogram looks good. It looks bang on in the middle. Let me just show you actually. Here we go, and you can see the histogram is bang in the middle. And you can see all my shots. I've tried to keep it that bang in the middle, which shows you I'm not clipping any highlights or dipping into them blacks, the shadows. Sorry. All the information is bang in the middle, and all I've done is shoot the different lighting conditions, and you can see from these images just how much the conditions have changed and the light hitting these trees on the left hand side. Yeah, so you can just see how important it is to use your histogram. Your histogram is the main tool and proof that you've nailed the exposure. On the D7200 I haven't got a live histogram, which is a real pain, so I have to use a little bit of experience for me using this camera and how it works and how it reacts to light to take a base exposure, and then I have to check the histogram and then make my adjustments from the histogram. The histogram is based off a JPEG, but it's pretty close. With the dynamic range of the cameras, even like an old camera like the D7200, I can still get myself out of trouble or make some. I've got plenty of dynamic range as long as I get it within them parameters. So yeah, the sky is starting to light up, and I'm just taking exposures around 1/3 of a second, and I'm just shooting that sky and the light hitting them trees there. Right, I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to hang around for probably 10 or 15 minutes more because the sun, although the sun's just gone down, these clouds are they look pretty interesting. There's a little bit of colour, so you never quite know sometimes. Them high level wispy clouds sort of catch the light after the sun's gone down. But yeah, other than that, the scene's very flat still, like it has been all evening really. But yeah, I think it's just important to try and shoot your subjects in different lighting conditions, because it sort of teaches you how to adapt, and it's a learning process, and moving forward you can return to them locations and you know a little bit more about how they look, where the sun's going to fall. Yeah, so it's just all practice, good practice really. But yeah, I'm going to like I said, hang around for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to head back home, grab myself a beer because I've got to go to work, and an early night because I've got to go to work tomorrow. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you next week. Ciao.